start with Pakistan Studies Paper 1. It's about history. As you know that we have different type of questions. The first section A, it has different A, B, C and D parts. You all know that it can be a part of any of the section of history. It can be section A1 or it could be 2 or it could be 3. So we end our syllabus up till 1999 and then you can also see that we have the first question as a written source. You must have seen the paper in which there is a paragraph given to you which is a comprehensive paragraph and there is a question A on it. You have to answer the question but please pick out only 3 points from there and write them down in pointers. You can write the answer in pointers for a 3-mark question and it is easier for you to comprehend that you have given 3 of the points. The points should be written in your own, that should be written in the words which are given in the comprehension. No exaggeration, no expansion of the points. You are not supposed to write them in your own words. But one thing which is very important, if you get the comprehensive paragraph in a form which is a direct one with inverted commas, then you have to convert it into indirect words. Then you come to the B part, which is the picture source. When you go to the picture source, for example, we have an example here. So when you see the picture, most of the students, they do not pick out the points from the picture. They always leave the picture aside, read the question and start answering. That is a wrong thing. First of all, you have to pick out the points from the picture, relate it to the question and give the inference. When you give the first inference, you go directly to 4 out of 5. And when you give the second point, you get the other mark or the contextual knowledge must be explained. If you are giving the contextual knowledge along with one of the point properly explained, you can go to 5 out of 5. The C part question, which is a 7-mark question, it's the same as you get in section B. That is the B part in section B for every question. In this question, you usually get the question accordingly like why, examine reasons, suggest reasons, and you have to explain. Give the reason, explain the reason, and give its impact. Now, what is impact? Basically, it is the effect of every reason. Many of the students, they only write down the reason, they explain the reason, and left it unopen, or you can say open-ended. You are supposed to write the impact of every reason at the end of every paragraph. Give 3 paragraphs because in a 7-mark question, you have to give 3 reasons. Give the reason in the first paragraph, explain the reason and give its effect in the last line. It could be 2 words, it could be 3 words, it could be a line also. And you have to give 3 of the paragraphs for 3 reasons and one thing which is again very important, do not use the word firstly, secondly and thirdly. It does not give a good impression to the examiner while checking the paper because the examiner knows that one reason ends up with 1 paragraph and the second reason is starting in the second paragraph. Then you come towards a 10-mark question. A 10-mark question is a D part in section A. And in this, you have to give the reason which is given in the question. It should be the first paragraph. The pattern is the same, cause and effect, as you have already discussed in the 7-mark question. Give the cause, explain the cause, and give the effect. So it's the same thing which you can do in 10-mark question and in a 14-mark question. In a 10-mark question, whatever is given to you in the first paragraph, in the question, the first paragraph must be that. After that, you are going to explain any 3 other reasons in other 3 paragraphs. So total 4 reasons and the 5th is going to be the evaluation. Remember one thing, it's not necessary that you have to justify the given cause. It's your choice whether you pick out any other reason which you have explained in the other 3 paragraphs. You can pick out any of the reason which you think is the most important, and you are going to explain it in the end in the evaluative part. So you have to justify that reason. Only writing that this is the major cause does not give you the mark. You have to justify your reason with the given cause. After this, you come to the B section. As you know that we have 4 of the question sets, A, B and C, 4, 7 and 14 mark questions. They can be from any of the sections, section 1, section 2 or section 3 from the syllabus. You can be picking out the questions, but remember one thing, if you have observed the previous papers, they are mixing up the questions from the section. They give you A and B part from section 1 and they give you the C part from section 2. They give you A and B part from section 2 and the C part from section 3. So you cannot leave any of the section in a choice, because you get section A compulsory. It could be from any of the section of your paper. Now when you come to the B part, A mark are 4. The A part is 4 mark and you have to give 4 facts. Now the 4 facts means it could be a date, it could be the name of the personality, it could be a law explanation or its impact or the example, or you can write about the contributions. So give 4 points and you can write those 4 points in 4 pointers also, because you are given a choice in Cambridge that you can write the 4 mark answer in a paragraph form or you can write the 4 mark answer in 4 pointers. Pointers are more better because you are also clear that you have written 4 of the facts and they can be the right ones. If you want, you can give 1 more extra point to be on the safer side, that you can get 4 out of 4. After this, you come towards a question which is 7 mark. Already we have discussed that. It's about the explanation of the reason and the impact. And as you know that it depends upon the knowledge, understanding. There is no evaluation in a 7 mark question. But when you come to the 14 mark question, the pattern is mostly the same. As you know that the pattern is accordingly the 10 mark question. But here you are going to add 1 more reason. For example, if you are given a question of 14 mark, you are going to write down 1 reason which is given in the statement. Then you are going to pick out any 4 other reasons in 4 paragraphs. To keep yourself safer, there should be 4 other reasons in 4 paragraphs, and the 6th paragraph is going to be the evaluation. So the 6th is going to be the evaluation. You can remember this like 7 mark, 3 paragraphs, 3 reasons, 10 mark, 4 paragraphs with reasons and 5th evaluation, 14 mark, 5 paragraphs with reasons and 6th evaluation. Here you can also give the reason which whatever you are going to choose to be the most important, and you are going to justify it. Do remember one thing, if you are not going to explain the given cause in the first paragraph, you will be losing the maximum marks of your answer, because the first paragraph is the most important as it is given to you. You cannot go to level 3 if you are not going to explain that reason in the first paragraph. If you are going to explain some other reason in the first paragraph, you will be on level 1. There are different type of questions in 14 mark. Like this, you can see which of the following. Here you are given 3 of the personalities or any other thing. So you have to explain them in a sequence. Take the first in the first paragraph, the second in the second, the third in the third, and the fourth will be evaluation. Now it's your own choice. If you are going to explain it in a detail, you can give your questions also to the people whom you are going to give it. All right. Now during that, explaining this question, for example, if you are going to answer this question, you can make 2 paragraphs each for 1. It's your choice, because there is no limit for such thing. And then you can also explain the question, which can be how successful. You usually get such questions. Or you get the question to what extent in history also. That means that you have to write the successes and the failures. Here you can go for 2 and 2 in 10-mark question, 2 successes, 2 failure. In a 14-mark question, go for 2:3 or 3:2, means 2 successes, 3 failures, or 3 successes, 2 failures. And then justify your answer in the end when you are evaluating. We also have a question which is a timeline question. If you are given a timeline, an era, for example, if a question is about Gandhi Jina talks and the statement is given about the Gandhi Jina talks and the tenure is given for 1940 to 46, you are not supposed to start with 1940, you are going to start with 1944, the Gandhi Jina talks first, then you can start with 1940 and give other 4 different paragraphs for different events and then explain in the evaluation whatever you think is the most important. The most important thing again is cause and effect in history, because many of the students, they only write the reason, they only explain the reason, but they do not give the effect of that reason in the paragraph, and there they lose their marks. So do look into this thing and answer the question accordingly. These are the questions which are in front of you as an example. Here you can also see the 10 mark, the 14 mark. Now moving on to the paper 2 geography. Here you have different type of questions. As you know, it's the environment of Pakistan. We have 12 chapters in our book, in our syllabus. And according to that, you have certain different questions. Now we have 5 sets of questions and you have to pick out any 3 out of it, which are 25 marks each. But they are not of the equal number. They can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any of the numbers can be there. The graphs are there, the map marking is there, the pie charts are there, fill in the blanks are there, the tables are given to you, you have to draw the diagrams also, you have to label the diagrams also, you have to calculate the distance also. So there is one thing which is very important. Please take your calculators along with you in the examination hall for geography paper. The ruler, pencil, rubber, sharpener should be with you because you have to draw the lines. You have to calculate the distance accordingly, because you must have seen in the previous papers we have certain questions calculating the distance. So for this you should have a ruler with you, a small ruler. You can also take the pencil and the rubber with you to draw and to calculate, and the calculator along with you for calculations. There are different type of questions which can be state, where one word is given, define, one line is given, explain and why. When you get a question of explain and why, here you have to give 2 reasons and you have to develop your reason. Develop means you have to write the explanation and effect of that reason, because everything depends upon the cause and development. Give the reason and develop your reason. If you are not going to develop the reason, you are not going to get the mark. Along with that, we have describe. It could be in one word, one line. Along with that, you have the question like distinguish between the two. You have to give the differences for that. If you get a question on describe the distribution of certain thing from the map, look into the map, pick out the directions of the provinces. Look into the provinces where the whatever is shown to you, like if the wheat areas are given to you, you should look into this, that it is in Punjab, which direction, southern, southeastern, northern, northeastern. You have to learn that. Learn the latitudes to mark the locations, because they are also very important. When you are going to be given a question, for example, if they ask you 4 reasons, so you have to give 4 reasons. There you are not going to give the explanation. But if you are given a question of 4 mark in which only explain why is given, then give 2 reasons and develop them. Mostly the reasons are the same, like you have to write about the exports, you have to write about the employment, you have to write about the infrastructure. Now when you use the word infrastructure, please explain what infrastructure. Whether it is a road, it is, you can say that it could be electricity, water supply, or the gas supply. Along with that, you can also see that we can also have the services, so you have to mention the services. It is the medical, or education, whatever. Coming to the 6-mark question, one thing which is very important, if you get a question on to what extent, give 2 advantages and then 2 developments of the problems, 1 example, and in the end, evaluation whether possible or impossible. Give the reason. If you have the statement questions, as you get the statement questions, if both the statements are positive, give positive points for both. Give 2 positive for one and 2 positive for the 2. And in the end, when you are going to evaluate, pick out whichever is the most positive and give 1 more positive point for that and give 1 example. If both the statements are negative, give both negative points. Give 2 negatives for A, 2 negatives for B. 1 example, and in the end evaluation, pick out the most negative and give an extra negative point there to justify. This is basically the easiest pattern to answer the 6-mark question. Now, as you know that we have the question and answer session, if you have the questions, you can give it to me.
Mohammed Ahmed asks, how to explain a reason? Is it just adding relevant info?
When you are explaining a reason, for example, if it is about the Mughal decline, if a question is given to you, explain the reasons for the Mughal decline, and if you have taken the reason of succession disputes, so you can write that after the death of the emperor, there was a problem which usually emerged that the emperor had 2 or 3 sons, and they had to decide which of them is going to be the next emperor. So as there was no law, it does not define that who is going to be the next emperor. It leads to infighting among the successors, which leads to the chaos in the whole state. The chaos in the whole state is going to be the impact. And the explanation I have already given you that there was no law that who is going to be the next emperor. I hope it makes very clear to you how you have to explain the reason and how you have to give the impact.
Muhammad Islam asks, are foreign relations important?
Yes, the foreign relations are important. This time we have one as India, the other one UK, and the third one USA. They are very important. So do prepare these 3 in detail with successes and failures.
Someone from the audience asks, please shed light on the reasons for outbreak of violence 1919 to 1920.
1919 to 1920. When you are going to write about 1919 to 1920 violence, first of all, you have to write the impact of the Montague-Chelmsford reforms, because they led to the riots and the chaos among the Indians as they started demonstrations, they started taking out processions, they were against it as their demands which they had given in the Lucknow Pact were not accepted in the Montague-Chelmsford reforms, leading towards the implementation of the Rowlatt Act. And then when you are going to write about the Rowlatt Act, the impact of the Rowlatt Act was that there was too much opposition by the Indian people, especially in Punjab. And as you know that General Dyer was called for that, and it led to the Jallianwala Bagh Amritsar massacre. So you have to write Amritsar massacre in this. So from 1919 to 1920, you have to explain these 3 major events in it.
Tayya Mahmood asks, our teachers' expectations for question 1 is about section 2. What is your opinion?
Section 2. As you know that Cambridge makes the paper, we never know that which section is going to be compulsory. Sometimes we think it's the 3rd one and we usually get the 1st one. So for this, I will always tell you that you have to prepare all the 3 sections. Most expected is the 2nd section for the compulsory question. But if you take a look according to the previous papers from 2015 till 2024, you can see that whichever topic has not been tested up till now is the most important. For example, in section 1, as you know that the Cambridge likes British rule and the War of Independence, along with that Sir Sayyid is very important. So you can get a question from section 1. You can get a question from section 2 from the partition of Bengal. It has not been tested in section A up till now. You can get a question from Allama Iqbal and Chaudhry Rehmat Ali. You can also get a question from 1940 to 47 events, because there are very few questions which have been tested in section A. In section 3, the most important is the partition of Pakistan and India, the problems. Along with that, you can also go for the rulers like Liaquat Ali Khan, Khwaja Nazimuddin, Malik Ghulam Muhammad, and Iskandar Mirza. Then the last part is very, very important for testing. That is Nawaz Sharif and Benazir's both rules. They can be tested in the section A part also. So pick out those things which have not been tested up till now, which can be more important in section A. So there is no such rule which can tell you that which section is going to be a part of section A this time. I hope it's clear to all of you. All right, thank you very much. Best of luck to all of you for your exam.